You sit in a diner in Northern Virginia. The vinyl booth is cold. You wear a cheap suit from a department store. The tag is cut out. Your wallet contains 3 credit cards in a name that isn't yours. Your phone is a burner bought with cash in a strip mall 3 towns over. You aren't an officer yet. You are a non-official cover asset in training. A man walks in and sits across from you. He doesn't say hello. He gives you a manila envelope. Inside is a photograph of a mid-level diplomat and a schedule of his morning runs. Your job is simple. Follow him. Don't be seen. If he turns around, you are looking at your watch. If he enters a shop, you are tying your shoe. You do this for 14 hours. Your back aches. Your eyes burn from the fluorescent lights of metro stations. At 11 p.m., you drop a coded text to a dead number. You get no reply. You go home to an apartment that smells like dust. You have no friends. You have no family who knows where you are. You get a check for $2,000. Under a shell company name, this is the honeymoon phase. You graduated from the farm at Camp Peary. You have a blue badge now. You work out of a station in Eastern Europe. Your official job is a junior attaché for the Department of Agriculture. You spend your days reading reports on soil acidity. You spend your nights in dimly lit bars in the old town. You're looking for the hungry ones. The colonel with a gambling debt, the clerk who feels unappreciated, the mistress who wants a Western passport. You spot a target, a communications tech for the local ministry. He likes expensive scotch. He likes talking about how smart he is. You spend 6 months becoming his best friend. You pay for his drinks. You listen to him complain about his wife. You wait for the hook moment. He mentions a debt he can't pay. You slide an envelope across the table. It contains $5,000. He looks at you. You don't blink. You tell him there's more where that came from. You just need a peek at the weekly cipher logs. He takes the money. His hand shakes. You feel a rush of power. You just bought a human being. You own his secrets. You own his safety. You head back to the embassy and file a cable. You use the jargon, asset recruitment successful, development phase concluded. You sleep 6 hours and feel like a god. The suit is gone. You wear Crye precision pants and a dusty fleece. You are in a valley in the Hindu Kush. You are part of the special operations group. You are a ground branch operator. You carry a suppressed HK416 and a Glock 19 with the serial numbers ground off. You don't exist. If you are captured, the State Department will issue a press release saying you were a private contractor. If you die, your star on the wall at Langley will be anonymous. You wake up at 3 a.m., the air is thin and tastes like wood smoke. You are leading a team of local militia. They don't know your name. They call you the American. You hike 6 miles through broken shale. Your knees click with every step. The target is a compound housing a high-value courier. The breach is silent. You use a flashbang that feels like a sun exploding in a closet. The room is full of smoke and the smell of ozone. You fire 2 rounds into a man's chest before he can reach for a Kalashnikov. You don't feel regret. You feel a mechanical efficiency. You bag the hard drives. You photograph the bodies. You are back at the outpost by dawn. You eat a lukewarm MRE and clean your rifle. You have killed 3 men this month. You see their faces when you close your eyes, but only for a second. The mission is everything. You are back in a windowless room. You are at the counter-terrorism center. The adrenaline of the field is replaced by the slow burn of the screen. You sit in front of 6 monitors. You are a digital ghost. Like you track a cell in North Africa. You watch them through a drone feed for 18 hours a day. You know what the target eats for breakfast. You know he plays with his grandson at 4 p.m. every Tuesday. You know he has a persistent cough. You are the one who connects the dots. The phone call from Istanbul, the wire transfer from Dubai, the sudden purchase of 100-pound bags of ammonium nitrate. You build the pattern of life. Your boss asks for a recommendation. You look at the screen. You see the target sitting on his porch. You see his family inside the house. You verify the coordinates. You say, target confirmed. You watch the screen as a Hellfire missile turns the porch into a crater. The resolution of the camera is so high you see the dust settle on the survivors. You don't look away. You log the time of death. You go to the cafeteria and eat a turkey sandwich. The sandwich tastes like nothing. You realize you haven't spoken to a real person in 12 hours. You are a ghost killing ghosts. You are the king of a small, hidden world. You run the station in a capital city where the air is thick with smog and paranoia. You sit behind a reinforced door in the embassy's secure vault. You don't do the dirty work anymore. You manage the people who do. Your phone rings at 2 a.m. One of your officers was arrested for a DUI. Another was burned by a local counterintelligence team. A third is having a mental breakdown and has stopped reporting for duty. You have to fix all of it. You trade favors with the local police chief. You move money through offshore accounts to cover operational expenses. You spend your days in meetings with the ambassador. He thinks he's in charge. You know better. You see the cables he doesn't see. You see the rot in the host government before the president does. You realize that 90% of what you do is lie. You lie to your staff to keep them motivated. You lie to the locals to keep them compliant. You lie to the agency headquarters to keep your budget. You have a wife who thinks you are a regional trade coordinator. She resents you for the long hours. You can't tell her why you're late. You can't tell her about the man you sent to a black site 10 years ago. You look in the mirror and realize your face has become a mask. You don't even know what you're thinking most of the time. You just know what you're supposed to say. You are a senior officer in the Directorate of Operations. You sit in the 7th floor wood-paneled offices. You don't care about individual targets anymore. You care about the long game. You design programs that will last 20 years. You oversee the unmentionables, the psychological operations that destabilize entire regions, the funding of proxy wars that will kill thousands to prevent a single geopolitical shift. You look at maps and see resources, not people. You realize that morality was a luxury for the lower ranks. At your level, there is only utility and risk. You sit in a hearing before a closed session of the Senate Intelligence Committee. You look them in the eye and lie. You do it with a steady voice. You do it because you believe the truth would destroy the country. You believe you are the only thing standing between the American public and the abyss. You have become a monster to protect the garden. You go home to a large house in a quiet suburb. The neighbors think you are a retired government consultant. You sit on your deck and drink expensive bourbon. You think about the names you've erased. You think about the families you've broken. You think about the fact that you will never be thanked. You will never be known. You are the secret history of the world. You are 60 years old. Your liver is failing. Your children don't call you. You have given everything to a shadow, and the shadow doesn't even know you're there. This is the end. You are no longer in the building. You are a civilian now, but you aren't. You walk down the street and your eyes still scan the horizon. You sit in a restaurant with your back to the wall. You check for tails on your way to the grocery store. You have a box of medals in your basement that you can never show anyone. You have a pension from a shell corporation. You have a set of skills that are useless in a normal world. You can't talk about your past. You can't talk about your friends because most of them are dead or under. You are an island of secrets. You realize that the agency wasn't a job. It was a trade. You traded your soul for a front row seat to the decay of civilization. You watch the news and see a coup in a country you used to live in. You see the face of a man you recruited 20 years ago. He is being executed on camera. You feel a cold knot in your stomach. You realize you were the one who put him there. You were the one who told him he would be safe. You take another sip of bourbon. You stare at the wall. You are still waiting for a command that will never come. The phone remains silent. The door stays closed. You are the most powerful man in the room, and no one knows you exist. You have reached the final stage. You are the secret that everyone has forgotten. You are the ghost in the machine, and the machine is still running without you.